Thank you guys for all coming this morning. My experience has been as Christmas gets closer, the attendance will drop off slowly, but we still have great meetings. There will be more CDs coming, I promise. So I will encourage you to listen to some of those that I did already give out more than once, especially the Greatness Tracker one. That's probably one of the most powerful ones that we have. So before we get into that, I got an important question for you. And the question is, really, what is life all about? We're going to go a little deep today. Is that all right? All right? What is life about? So for me, I'm going to give you an example. For me, life is about pollywogs. Okay? Do you guys remember pollywogs when you were a kid? How much fun playing with them? Rick Ruby, the guy who's really the mastermind behind all this training, lives in Michigan, or used to live in Michigan. And I found out he had literally just an intrigue with frogs and pollywogs. He had a pond in his backyard, and when he was a kid, that's what he did, to play with pollywogs. So when he got older and a lot of money and stuff, he made sure he had a house with a pond that had pollywogs in it. And he was bragging to me at one event that his pollywogs, they were like that big. All right? That was really cool. I happened to buy a house in Fair Oaks that had a pond in it, and it had pollywogs the size of plates. I don't know if we were by a nuclear spill or what it was, but these pollywogs were huge. So we were talking about it, and he didn't believe me. Anyway, long story short, it's about 4 o'clock on a Wednesday. I found out what time FedEx left out of Mayfair Air Force Base, because it wasn't too far from there, from Mayfair Field. So I get these huge plastic bags. I found out later it was illegal to do this, by the way. And I shove like 10 pollywogs in this plastic bag, triple bag it, put it in a box. I drive like a madman and catch the FedEx flight, and I overnight him to Michigan. Okay? So the next day I get a call from his assistant saying I was a sick person. They opened him up, and like half of them died, so they were dead, but the other half lived. Okay? So he took him home, he put him in his pond, and this guy's like a multi-millionaire guy, right? And he said it's the best present he's ever gotten in his life. It's his pollywogs. Okay, this was like 12 years ago. So there was a big meeting yesterday. He's still talking about it. Okay? I had so much fun doing it. I was acting like a little kid. So for me, especially this time of year, I like to act like a little kid. You know what I mean? Because really, what is life all about? I mean, I think it's like doing fun things like that is a big part of it. I mean, we can get spiritual and all of that, but I mean, it's about having some fun, doing some crazy things like that. You guys agree?
Yes.
So I want to do something just a little different. I know it might be a little awkward. I literally want to break into just groups of 2 or 3, and I want you to come up with some ideas of what life is all about for you. Okay? We don't have to talk about walking in heaven or anything like that. Maybe it's a childhood memory. Maybe it's a poker game with the guys. I don't know. But I got all warm and fuzzy when I started thinking about this. All right, so just real quick, we're getting a little goal setting at the end, so I want to talk about that. Sound good? Groups of 2 or 3. Person with the shortest hair goes first. Lori, join a group. It's a simple question. What is life all about? For me, it's pollywogs. Be vulnerable. This is a safe place to share. Nobody's going to judge you, I promise. There's no judging.
My kids, I tried to take care of them once in the hospital right now. They're going to straighten them out. Your turn. With all our other people and our interaction, sounds like all 3 of them. So that's what life's about. Codependency.
Find the things that you remember from the past that you
It sounds like you remember something. Sounds good. Share it.
That's a good one.
Smells don't work for me, the music does. You bring that company all the time.
And they're still playing the songs in Chicago. I mean, all the
Some people do.
Yeah, there's a creek near our house, absolutely. But we have turtles.
Alright, let's bring it back.
Bring the volleyball
Bring it all back. Good topic, huh?
You love this group.
I love it. Alright. Good topic. I love it. I knew you guys would like it once you got into it.
Let us continue.
Do this later. Set coffee with a friend and ask them what life's all about and share with them, okay? Because here's the deal. Who do people want to work with?
People they like.
And what are some qualities that people like in other people?
The ones that are similar.
Fun, goofy, they're happy. I mean, I like to hang around happy people. Okay?
They like your company?
I just spent the entire morning with everybody who's all mad because of a recording issue with the title company. Not Orange Coast.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, people are pissed, okay? And they're just like, and it is, you know, we'll fix it, but it's like, can we remember what life's really about? It's about pollywogs to me and having some fun.
Pollywogs.
Okay? Sorry, I'll tell you about that.
Frogs become frogs, and frogs get put down your bathing suit. That's all I remember.
I'm not going to eat frogs either. So, you guys are a very unique crowd, you know that? What are some things that life's all about to you guys? Family? What else?
Fulfillment.
Give me something more specific.
Relationships.
Like what? Like I'm going to tell you that. So I borrowed John and Kirsten's car over the weekend because we went to Tahoe. All right? And I got my two kids. They just had birthdays. They're 12 and 14. Okay? At 12 and 14, kids do not want to do what to their parents? Talk to them, or really be with them, all right?
Yeah.
So we get in the car, and it's going to be like 2 or 3 hours because it's bad weather and all that. And I can't get the radio to work. I should have known I borrowed the car from John and Kirsten. There's no damn radio in the car. Okay? The kids forgot their iPods. So we all stressed out and fought for about 20 minutes about how horrible life is because we didn't have a radio or music in the car. And guess what we did for the remainder of the trip? Talk. It was probably one of the, I'm going to do that again.
Was it fulfilling to you?
Huh?
Was it fulfilling to you?
Very fulfilling for me. So my point is, it was hanging out with my kids with no electronic devices.
Camping.
So camping, there you go. You know what? How expensive is camping? It's not. It's not. You can buy some hot dogs and get a tent and go find a place to stay.
My daughter's idea of camping is to rent a trailer.
What else is life all about?
Becky's is a
Living
five-star
on the
hotel.
edge.
Give me an example, Jerry.
Playing golf. Okay? And you got two ways to go. You can either punch out easily and take a stroke, or you can try and split it right through that Y in the tree.
I love that metaphor.
That's me.
You
That's
see,
me.
he's got it. What else? What's life about? Share. Come on, this is good stuff.
Putting frogs in people's pants. We didn't have that.
Oh my God.
That's on my bucket list now.
Making memories.
Give me one.
Making
I know,
memories.
but give me one. I want specifics.
Oh.
What's like for me? It's pollywogs. I have this metaphor. It's about being crazy. Don't worry about what people think and breaking the rules a little bit.
I'm sorry.
What else?
Making cookies, Christmas cookies with my grandkids.
Oh.
Dude, right? I'm going to well up now. My grandma. I just had a. I did that with my grandma all the. Oh.
I want to have grandkids.
What else? Anything else?
Careful what you ask for.
These are fun. Nobody else.
Waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning and talking to a friend for an hour.
Why 3 in the morning?
Because I don't know. That's what I did last night.
Can we say crazy phone
Facebook me.
calls?
I was just going to send back a quick Facebook. I didn't know she was still up. And for the next hour, we talked about,
I love it.
craziness.
That's what life's all about. Getting 3 in the morning talking to a friend. It's different for all of us, but we all have them. Right? Any others? I mean, I love this because these get me all excited.
I
I think holidays with your family.
Okay?
I like that.
And you guys don't stress out and all that stuff? Okay, good.
How about class reunions?
Class reunions.
I like it, Jerry. Isn't that fun to see everybody turned out?
Oh, yeah.
You got those kind of, like, if you're going to say class reunions, I got a buddy I can talk to once every 10 years, and when I talk to him, it's like I saw him yesterday. You know what I mean? You can just pick up and laugh, and you got experiences to share.
When our kids were small, it was before when Oakland A's had a bleachers. And we'd go to the Oakland A's games for $5 a person and sit and take ice chest with us and love it. So we got to go to A's games for under $50 a family.
Can't do that anymore, huh?
No, not much. But we still did once in a while.
I love it. I love it. Anybody else? I know some of you, it's stirring memories and you're not saying it. That's okay.
I mountain bike ride with my daughters. There you go.
Bike ride with daughter.
There you go.
King's game with my son.
I taught my 14-year-old, I taught him how to ski. We had a ball. My 12-year-old hated it. It was still a memory because it was so cute. I got to tell you. What else? Anything else?
Crazy travel.
Like what?
My husband and I absolutely love to go around the world, and I think our favorite place was when we did 14 countries, no, I'm sorry, 20 countries in 14 days with just a duffel bag each.
Wow.
We just rented it, or did trains the whole time, never rented a car, just in and out, and just did all of Europe.
That's what life's all about.
Yeah.
Crazy travel. Anybody else?
In '98, we took a road trip and went to most national parks as we could, saw family. When we got back home, my second grader, they were talking about, or third grader, they were talking about plain states, the Midwest states, and he was the king of the hill because he goes, oh, I've been there. Oh, I was there last year. Oh, I saw that. And so he was, so big
Dude,
road
road
trips.
trips are awesome. Forces you to talk. Anybody else want to throw it to the list? All right. Now I know you have. Some of you didn't speak up, and you have them. Hold on to them. Talk about them with friends, family, or whatever. Here's the point. One, I just love to do this. Okay. Here's the point. To me, this is what life's all about. Okay, on the not the spiritual level, but this is what life's all about. Okay. I am Chris Stahl, a great friend, a dad, a son, and a funny guy. Okay. I'm really, to you guys, I'm Chris Stahl, the loan officer, right? Okay? But here's the deal. I want to put this in perspective. That crazy deal that's going sideways and everybody's all up in arms about, I get a little emotional, but not near as emotional, because to me, life's about pollywogs. Okay? And we all think the same thing, like 99.9% of us. Even if a client gets all mad at you and starts going off on you, they're probably going to apologize later, assuming you handle it the right way. So to me, we can be better business people, better realtors, better loan officers if we put things in perspective. And if you're happier, you're going to attract more people to you, and you will close more loans or close more real estate deals. Does that make sense? That's why I think it's fun to be happy. All right? And there's not always a bunch of stuff to be happy about in our industry. For crying out loud, Teresa Ward, I had to fight with 18 appraisers to convince them there wasn't a room addition. Teresa's calling saying, I'm in the house. They didn't do a room addition, trust me. I'm talking to the appraiser, I can't trust you, okay? It's our job to not trust you, right? That's the appraiser's job. They got to need it black and white. But it's okay, it'll all work out. We good? Alright. And I know this is business training, but if your head's not screwed on right, it doesn't matter what I teach you, because you're probably not going to do it.
Amen.
So, here's your homework. Have fun, get crazy, go meet with at least 3 people before Christmas and ask them what life is all about. And make them tell a funny, specific story. You guys have some great ones. Frogs in the pants, though, I mean, that's...
That's Becky for you.
I challenge you to... I love pranks, I mean, stuff like that. It makes life fun.
That would be Sylvia, not Becky. She's more frog than Sylvia.
Is our work stressful?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's stressful. You got to figure out a way to blow off some steam, whatever that may be. If put frogs in somebody's pants, that works. Okay? It's all good.
You know, it's really, I don't know if anybody else has done this, but I really enjoy going to like a flea market or someplace like that, and talking to the people around there. I mean, you can't believe how many people that are behind there waiting for people to come and buy a few things. But it's really, you get to know some of those people even. No. I mean, I know it's not so exciting like going out there and golfing. We've done that. There's a lot of things you've done. But as time goes by, you can't always do the same thing.
It's different for every person at every stage of your life.
And time changes.
I didn't tell you, I did take my son skiing, and I'm still having a hard time getting out of bed, and that was 4 days ago. I used to ski every day. That's another story. Okay.
I've got one of this.
Uh-oh.
People watching.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, that is.
My favorite.
Just take a break.
Yes, I was watching.
Oh, people watching, yeah, that's a good one too.
That's always fun. You can do that about anywhere. I'm telling you.
We're doing it right now.
Okay, we'll get into some more business stuff now, but I wanted to just get the juices flowing for us. All right, today we're going to talk about the power of the lead tracker. You might remember the core training has 5 forms. That's it. Okay, I put in, and I apologize for the order, the second to the third to the last page, the greatness tracker. This is the #1 most important form. We did a whole class on it, so I'm sure you all remembered it and you're all utilizing it, right? Yeah, very good. Just remember this. I'm probably going to always give you a copy of it. To track your activity as a salesperson. We just had an all-day training yesterday, so I got all infused again with this stuff. Let's be clear, we're all salespeople first. I know we have several job functions, but we need to generate leads. Correct?
Yes.
We need to generate leads. What solves 80% of all business problems?
Leads.
More leads. Okay? The goal is you generate so many leads, you can't handle them all, so you cherry pick the good ones and give away the other ones. Would that be a fun business model?
Amen.
That'd be a fun business model. Okay? I'm not there yet, that's what I'm working on. So, we're going to track your break breads, your face-to-face appointments, your phone calls, your thank you cards. It's the holiday season. Okay? When you get invited to, I love John, when this couple of years ago, John and I first got on this, he didn't feel like going to some parties, but he went because we were talking about this forum. He's like, man, I made some new contacts. So if there's some parties you might not want to go to, or some gathering, or some people invite you over to the house, go do it. Make a face-to-face appointment. Why will they work with you? Because they like you. All right? What's their favorite subject? Them, okay? If you need a question to ask them what life's all about. They're going to go, what the hell are you talking about? And you're going to always at this crazy class where the guy was talking about polywog. Whatever it may be. People want to be taught. We're emotional creatures. I love the internet, I love all this Skype, FaceTime, and all that stuff, but people still want a relationship. They still want a relationship. Okay. Questions on the greatness tracker? That could be a good New Year's Eve goal New Year's goal for 2013. All right. What is the #1 complaint about real estate agents and loan officers?
Communication.
Are we all clear on that? Okay. I'm going to give you a manual system, okay, pad and paper. If you want, I'll send you the computer version and you can do it electronically. I still do it, me and my team, by hand, okay? There's nothing wrong with it. If you are following up with all of your leads right now on a regular basis, I mean this in a nice way, it's okay if you want to leave right now, okay? Because all I'm going to teach you is a system to make sure you follow up with all of your leads for sure. Okay? And I will guarantee you, if you do this, you will close at least 2 more transactions in 2013. So what's your average commission, gross commission?
About 6,000.
6,000? 5,000? 10,000?
5, 6.
Right now?
Right now.
Average in Sacramento is about 5.
5,000? Okay. So if we have 5,000 and you close 2 more, that's $10,000. I honestly know that the next 30 minutes can make you an additional $10,000 next year. Okay? There's nothing new, fun, and exciting about this form, but it works. And I talked to all the big dogs. The form's been around for about 11 years. Many people have different versions. Again, if you're following up with all your leads, don't use this form. But if you need a system to do it, I highly encourage it. I get realtors all the time coming up to me and saying, oh my gosh, your follow-up is phenomenal, okay? I have an assistant, we go over this form every single day. If a realtor calls me and asks me for status, I feel like a failure, okay? So this is the system that we use. So it's the lead tracker. We talked about it briefly a few meetings ago, but I really want to get into it in person. It's a monthly form, okay? So I have my leads for the last 13 years, all right? And we're going to go over this line by line because I'm going to show you it's much more powerful than you think. Because when you do it, like for me, I can go back over 13 years and see who my best referral sources were and who were my most efficient, okay? Guess what? I close on average about 30%, well, probably about 24% now, of leads from real estate agents. Okay? They're not my highest closing percentage. You know who is?
People. Your clients.
Previous client.
Your lead tracker.
Inner circle.
Business people. CPAs, financial planners. I close about 70% of their leads. Okay?
Why?
Why do you think that is?
They're qualified and you've been sent to them with their reputation behind them.
I think when your accountant says go do something,
You do it.
you usually do it, or your financial planner. Okay? And here's the other thing. If you can afford a CPA or a financial planner, you're probably an upper end sales price and a more, what's the word? Qualified. I do less work on those deals. Okay? If they don't have their W-2s, I call their accountant. All right? They send them over. You know what I mean? They're better quality deals. I'm not saying we don't do all kinds of deals. But it's interesting when I started tracking this. Now, I'll tell you, part of me thinks I should do nothing but go after financial planners and professionals because they're better deals. But I love realtor business. Realtor business is about 65% of my business. Okay? So I know the real estate model real well, and so that's what I focus on here, and I can track it. Guess what? Certain realtors, I close 1% of all their leads. Other realtors, I close about 40%. Well, where do I spend my time?
40%.
It's the same for you folks. So this is much more than just following up with your leads. It's about looking back after 3 or 6 months and going, wow, my next door neighbor, Herb, he sent me 4 deals and 3 of them closed. Hey, Herb, you want to go look at Christmas lights? I'm renting a limo. You want to come with me? I mean, I'm serious. To me, I want to build a business model that makes my life fun. Okay? So, like, I think John David is crazy man. Okay? He is fun to me. He's always telling coaching stories and stuff like that, so I like to work with people like that. Okay? It's fun. We get to kind of choose who we want to work with for the most part. You know, I mean, sometimes we have clients in our favor, but we make the best of it. But we have control. If you want to increase your average sales price, and you look at the clients here and the average sales price, you cater to those people more for marketing. Right? Make sure they're on your birthday list. Okay? You can decide wherever, if you want a certain geographic area. All of this data is going to be reflected on the lead tracker. So it's a monthly form. Here's a blank one. And here is, they call it the Blue Beast, but the lead tracker. So it's going to go through it line by line. Okay? Step 1, you track every lead. Okay? What's the definition of a lead? We got to start off with this. And don't say somebody writes a contract, because I get that all the time, and people tell me I close 9 out of 10 of my leads. Well, no. What's a lead?
Name and phone number.
They're breathing, a little more than that.
Anybody you talk to about business.
There you go. Anybody you talk to about real estate. Okay? So you're talking, yeah, I'm thinking of buying or selling, or maybe my friend's thinking of buying or selling. You've got a listing, and if somebody calls and says, what's the sales price? And you say $250, and they hang up. Is that a lead? Yes.
Yes.
We all clear that's a lead, right?
Well,
Well, you try to get their name and number, or it's not really.
It's a lead. Now, if you're...
You did a good job.
That's your fault.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's your job. So I've had realtors, and I'll look at this, and they're getting like 40 leads a month and no deals. So then I'll start role-playing with them. And they'll say, $250, and hang up. And so let's work on some scripts. Oh, by the way, are you working with a realtor? Are you looking in that area? You'll get better at your profession. You know what I mean? You always look at attorneys. What do they call their jobs? It's a practice, right? I think we should think of our businesses as a practice. How much time do we practice getting better? How much time do athletes have practice? I find, I will say real estate and loans, a lot of times we just go and throw crap on the wall and hopefully some stuff sticks. But what if we spend a little time working on some scripts getting better? You know what I mean? It makes a huge difference. I would rather work smarter than harder. Okay, I learned how to work really, really, really hard. I know how to do that. I'm getting older now. I don't really want to work really, really, really hard. I want to work really, really smart. So if I get better at my scripts and I'm tracking my leads and I get my conversion ratio from 1 in 10 to 4 in 10, that's a huge raise for doing the same amount of work. Did you want to say something, Dave?
Well, you know, a lead can also be a phone call that you get, and we're closing one right now 2 years ago, and it's like, well, you know, you think you're going to be looking at real estate in the future? Well, we're renting right now, and my husband just is coming out of a divorce. We're newly married. We got to get some stuff together. Why don't you give me your name and phone number, and I'll get you on our mailing list, and we'll just stay in contact. Send out cards 4 times a year. Every 90 days, I call them and say, hey, this is Dave Searcy, just checking in on you, see how things are going. If I can help you with anything. Called 6 weeks ago and said, we're ready.
Yeah. Now, I will bet, did you know the person before they called you? Like
Absolutely
a relationship?
not.
I
That
will
cold
bet
call.
they think he's a phenomenal realtor. Why?
Because he kept following.
He followed up. It's kind of silly. You get judged by your follow-up, right? That's why this is so key. Yeah.
The loan we just closed, that was from an open house, from the daughter and son-in-law, came to an open house over a year ago. Filled up my book, put them on my tickler list, they got a tickler every week, also signed them up so they would get the listings, besides my little drip mail campaign. Said that it's for my parents, they're very difficult, it could be in the future. Made a periodic phone call, she would call me back and forth, and that's basically ultimately led to, we're finally ready, and we just did.
That's it. That's it. Yeah. If you do the basic follow-up, they're going to think you're a great realtor, whether you are or not. Okay? It's the same for us on the loan side. So, you know, a lot of times they'll see realtors go have an open house, and they'll get like 5 or 10 leads, and they'll follow up with 1 or 2 of them. Okay? I see that a lot. And by the way, if you ever can't follow up with them, send it to me, I'll call them on your behalf with a nice script, and I'll say whatever you want me to say. Okay? I have a full-time person, Elisa, that's all she does, is lead follow-up. Why? Because it gets me more deals. It gets me more deals. It's so key. All right? Questions on that? So, we all know what a lead is now, right? So we'll put it in there. In Dave's situation, I'll put in the lead tracker, long-term follow-up, maybe a date 6 months out or whatever, throw them in my database, my drip system, and leave it alone. Okay? You want to capture every lead unless you don't like them. If you don't like them, then put them inactive. Okay? There's no fun calling people you don't like. Are you with me? Okay. All right, so that's what the deal. Now, we're going to look at the actual form. The far left is the date the lead came in. Everybody got that? You're going to put that in there. The next column is blank. There's an asterisk. When they go into contract, or you sign a listing, they sign a listing agreement with you, it gets an asterisk. That counts as a hit for the baseball analogy. Okay? Because we're going to track your batting average. I love asking people, what's your conversion ratio on your leads? I usually get 65 to 70%. When we track them, it's usually about 15%. Sometimes it's down to 5. Do you need to know this? Yeah. You got goals and income level. How many leads do you need a month? Okay? How many leads do you need a month to close X amount of deals? We're going to track that. Now, the next column is the name. You're going to just put the name of the lead. Okay? Next is the source. Now, flip back to the page here with instructions. You're going to put some initials and then a name behind it. Okay, so everybody have this page? So the first one is a CCR. Right? Everybody have that? That's a current client referral. So about 6 months ago, I'm getting no current client referrals. And my boss comes in and starts yelling at me about how I suck and why I'm not getting current client referrals. It's just kind of what we do it here. All right? Guess what happened over the next 2 or 3 months? Current client referrals. Why? Because he made me focus on it. Okay? So when you put these down, you start looking at this, you'll get some current client referrals, I guarantee it. You guys don't, most of you probably, I'll make an assumption, I know I shouldn't, are not getting them now. You know why you're not getting them?
You're not asking.
You're not asking. That's it. Okay? So when do clients like you the most?
When you're working with them.
During the escrow, most part. I mean, let's be honest with you, right? especially up front. Oh my gosh, you found me my dream home. We had 87 offers for the last 2.5 years. We finally got our offer accepted. I'm so excited. You're the best realtor ever. God, thank you so much. Do you know anybody else I can help? That's it. That's about it. Obviously, you will get some, I guarantee you. So you put CCR and then you put their name, so you know how to track it. Okay, questions on that one? PCR, previous client referral. Okay, so Mark's a previous client of mine. He refers me his mom. I do a loan for her. I put PCR, Mark Lehman. Okay, now I'm going to know when it closes because we're going to put that asterisk by it. All right, so now I'm going to build. I'm going to get to see my close ratio. Because again, Mark could send me a bunch of leads that never closed. I've had to fire some realtors. I had this one realtor, I mean, I was getting like 20 leads a month from him. I'm like, I nailed it. My team said, you got to fire this realtor. I'm like, you crazy? I'm not firing my realtor. I get 20 leads a month. They're all, look how many closings. So we fight back and forth. Then we go over the last 3 months lead tracker. They were right. These were a pain in the butt leads. You know what the realtor did for marketing? He went to apartments and said, bad credit, no money down, call me today, I'll get you to buy a house. I'm sorry, I don't want those leads. So I had called him, I met with him, and I said, hey, you know what, you think about changing your marketing? Because he wasn't doing well. Why don't we treat it? He didn't want to. I said, I think we're a good fit for each other. I'm just being honest. I tried to help him first, because I don't think he's going to have a whole lot of success with that marketing plan. But it let me be a better business person by looking at the data. You guys like me, I'm a salesperson, I am emotional. Okay? I mean, I am drama. I'm just telling you that. Right? I look at this data and I can't argue with it. All right? Jerry sent me 8 closings last year. I mean, I'm just using an example. Jerry sent me 8 closings last year and 12 deals. Jerry's an A realtor in my book. So in my cell phone, when it's Saturday at 6:30 at night and I see it's a call from Jerry, I answer the phone. I'm not being rude. I'm just telling you. If you never send me a closing and you're always calling me on evenings or weekends, I'm not going to answer the phone. Right? I'm just being honest with you. Okay? I have my A, B's, and C's realtors, my referral sources. Okay? That's going to help you when you look at this data to figure out if and when you want to do that. All right. PCs, previous clients. Put their name. They came back to you. PF, personal friend. This is just somebody you know. Maybe it's a next door neighbor. All right? I'll include family in there too. All right? PF, mom. Realtor, I put RLTR and the realtor's last name. So for you, we'll get that in a little bit. AD is advertisement. You guys need to track this. It's not as bad as it used to be, but realtors used to just do a bunch of harm and home, bunch of advertising, pay big, big bucks, and we would look at it and they get a bunch of leads but very few closings. So why don't we spend your money somewhere else? Business. As a realtor, this is the one I'd be all over. Realtors do not call business people. They just don't. Here's my script for you. Find a CPA and say, hey, do you have a good realtor you work with? That's not a hard close, right? I will bet you the majority of them will say no. And you can follow, hey, can I meet with you to see if I could be that realtor? You can put your own spin on it. But business people, like I, as a lender, let's be honest, I can go to realtors to get business. You're an ongoing referral source for me, right? As realtors, you don't have that as much. Really, you have business people. So if you were to call 10 divorce attorneys a week, 10 financial planners, 10 CPAs, and start filling up and getting some leads that way, that would be a nice ongoing referral source for you. And I bet you the closing percentage will be really high. Somebody was in here, they just broke through with a probate attorney. Is that somebody in here I was talking to?
Do we have a probate attorney?
No, it was they got their first lead from a probate attorney. They were on the selling side of it, and they did such a good job updating the attorney throughout the process. The attorney said, I'd like to work with you. You're a very good realtor. And like 4 months later, they got like a huge listing off it. People are not going after probate attorneys. All right? That I find. Okay. AR is annual review calls. Ideally, in a perfect world, you're calling all your past clients. Hey, this is Jerry. I was just following up. It's been 1 year since you bought your house. Congratulations. How's it going? All you're doing is caring, right? Builders, if you go after builders, put anything else you want to put in there for an acronym. Maybe it's the PTA, maybe it's your dog kennel. I mean, there's whatever you're into, you can put that in there as a referral source and then track it. So any questions on the source? You guys get the importance of the source? Okay. Result of the call. This is the most important column. By the way, there is an example in here too for you guys to look at on the back side that shows that. The result of the call, this is key, this is the biggest of everything. You have to put little note like left message, LM, and then you put C/B and the date. It's your callback date. Alright? This is the icing, the cherry on the cake, whatever you want to call it. You have to put, so an example, left message, and today's the what, 6th? 7th? So for all the leads we're calling today, we put L/M, CB, 12/8. 12/7? 6, okay. So today I put callback 12/7. Okay? We all got that? You put your next follow-up date. So you're talking to a lead and they say, give me a call back in 6 months, I'm getting divorced, and about then I'll be ready to call. Alright? So what do you put in the box?
Divorce 6 months.
When you call back 3 months, you cut it in half. If you wait the full 6 months, I've done this, they found another lender, I don't know how that works. If they say a year, I call back in 6 months. Okay, I cut it in half. So I would put divorce issue C/B 3/15/2013. Okay? And I'm done. Okay? Questions on the result of the call?
What's the numbers on that next to the name? Is that,
As we go right,
as you go left? I'm looking at your sample here. the circle numbers. Yeah.
on the sample,
Yeah.
Circled
Yeah.
numbers
Circled
next.
Like Joe Smith, #1.
oh, those are,
Previous leads or something?
the heck are those?
Those are hot leads, right?
Yeah, you're supposed to circle your hot leads, but, oh, I'm sorry, thank you, Mark. Mark, what you do, we're gonna get to that in a minute, but you circle all your leads that are hot, so you know to pay attention to them. So one is just, it's one, they're numbered, they're 1 through 29. The number doesn't mean anything, it's just the fact you circled the number, and that shows it's a hot lead.
Okay, Chris?
Yeah.
So you put follow-up 3 months from now.
Yes.
It's on this page.
Yes.
3 months from now, you're 4 pages back. How do you know that you carried that forward? You carry it forward tomorrow, you just go back every month and review.
Okay. So hold on, that was a great question. So I say follow up in 3 months. Now, do most of you guys have like a lead intake form or something like that, a piece of paper with the lead information on it? I have a piece of paper. So I have a folder called long-term follow-up by month, and I file it in that month.
So
Okay?
you move it forward on another piece of paper.
Now, but let's be honest, sometimes if it's a year out or so, or even other times, I'll just set a reminder in Outlook. So in 3 months it'll pop up, call Steve Smith. I'm like, who the heck's Steve Smith? I go look at my long-term follow-up, Steve Smith, oh, he has a divorce issue, oh, I'm gonna call him, right? That makes
So
sense?
there's another piece of paper, somehow you have to put it forward somewhere else.
I would use electronic reminder, okay, whatever that is, Outlook, whatever program you're using, and then make a folder that says long-term follow-up. And it's important you write down the information, because then in 3 months you go, hey, Mrs. Jones, I was just calling Dash, I didn't know if the divorce was final or not. So you kind of know what's going on.
Right.
Just checking in with you, oh, that's good, or, I had a lady where somebody died or something like that. I know you were guys taking care of funeral arrangements and all that. I just want to follow up. It's been 3 months, and you asked me to call back then, so I was just following up. Man, you're a professional. Man, you're on top of your game. Did that answer the question?
Yeah, box of things.
Yeah, but you have to have that system. Jerry,
Chris, there's a system called ACT, A-C-T.
the software?
Yeah, and when you put your client in, it gives them their own page. You can put all your remarks in there to automatically put it in your calendar. It just does everything for you.
Jerry's absolutely right. Anybody here ever use Top Producer software? I used it for about 5 years as a realtor software, even though as a lender. It's not as good as a pad and paper for me. I'm just telling you that. Maybe I'm a dinosaur. I don't know. But if you have your automated system and it works, plug it in.
Can't find the paper all the time. You always know what to do.
You gotta make a little. I'm slowly turning.
A simple, real simple thing is just a little tickler file is what we call it. Just your 3x5 cards, you get the little file that give you the months and the dates, and you stick it in there, just a card with their name on it, and you can pull up the information and look it up,
You can also put it in the client portal on MLS, on your Metro.
For us, yeah.
Here's the deal. There's a bunch of systems. Make one and follow it.
Right.
I don't care what it is. Make one and follow it. So, I do the hard copy in case like my computer gets stolen or Outlook goes down, or I had to replace my version of Outlook and a bunch of alarms got lost. started crying, but that's another story.
Chris, they call that the cloud now, you just back it up to the cloud, you don't worry.
I got a thing on my cell phone that says my cloud's full, and now I gotta do something, so I mean, that's stressing.
Get it
Cloud's
bigger.
full.
Get it bigger.
Okay,
You can be full.
true story. No, my cloud is full, I don't.
Get a bigger cloud.
Okay, phone number, we all get that? Phone number / email. Phone number is always preferred, you only put the email if you have to, okay? We're relationship creatures, okay? Next column, calls. You put a hash mark every time you call them. I need you guys to get this. What's your system right now for how many times you call a person before you file them inactive? I'm gonna be honest, who here has a system for how many times they call a client before they file them inactive? 2 or 3, okay. Maybe not. I never had one until I got on this form. So my call is, here's how mine works. For realtor leads, I call them 3 days in a row, and then I call the realtor and I say, hey Kirsten, I'm just checking, Mr. Smith's not following up. Would you like me to keep following up with him? We've called him 3 days in a row. Oh yeah, he's out of town. Oh no, don't follow up with that anymore. Okay? Leads that aren't referred from realtors, I call 6 times. Okay? So here's my story on this. I called this lady, and I talked to her just briefly, and she sounded real interested, and said, call me back tomorrow. So I call her back tomorrow, she doesn't answer, or voicemail. Call her a couple days later, she doesn't answer. So like 7 times goes by, and she doesn't call me back. And so I told you I'm emotional, right? So I'm all, she's pissing me off. You know, I'm taking this personal. She could at least call me. My last message is like, you know, even if you could call back in the middle of the night just to let me know you're getting these and tell me you don't want to use me, that's fine, right? You know what I mean? Show a little courtesy, right? I mean, I'm like losing sleep over the fact somebody won't call me back, right? Am I the only one who's ever done that? Anyway, so 2 weeks later, I get a call from this lady. Oh my gosh, Chris, thank you so much for all the follow-up. My mom died. We had to fly back to Michigan. I'm like, I just is that stupid? That is stupid. So anyway, so I followed 6 times. Now, here's the key. My reputation is very, very important to me. So if I flake on Kirsten, you can realtors talk, all right? People talk. I mean, people do too, right? Oh, yeah, Chris guy's a flake. He never just called me back. So here's what my last call's like. Hey, Kirsten, I just wanted to let you know I followed up 4 or 5 times with you now. I'm not going to call you anymore. I'm going to file you inactive. I'll have your information here. If anything changes in the future, please call me back. Okay? Then I call the realtor. Hey, Lori, I just want to let you know I did a final call with Kirsten. I filed her inactive. She's in my file if you need anything else. If I do that, because otherwise, here's what happens. I get a call from the realtor. Hey, whatever happened to that Joe Smith lead? And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I never heard from them again. Or I hate that. It makes me sound flaky, and I don't like that. People will judge you that way. Okay, I'll never forget. I got a lead from a guy. No, I gave a guy an SBA lead for a loan. It was like a good-sized loan, and the guy never called me back. And I called him back and said, hey, whatever happened to that lead? Oh yeah, we closed it. Think I ever sent that guy a lead again? Dude, I hate that. If you market, some of the best marketing you can do, if you don't like cold calls and doing a bunch of open houses and stuff, follow up with the leads you got like a mad person, and you will get leads from them. I mean, this is inside marketing 101 to me. So, we got that? Figure out how many times you're going to call a person, make that your system, and do it. Hash mark, hash mark, hash mark. Okay? When there's no response, you're going to put in here, look at line number 8, inactive. This is what new home subdivision. But you will put inactive on here. Okay? Or other realtor, inactive other realtor, inactive lost job, inactive don't like me, whatever it may be. Okay? So now you have all of this filled out. Okay? It's monthly. Here's the system. Every morning, not afternoon, every morning you carve out 10 minutes and you review this column. Okay? You're going to see inactive, inactive, call back. Oh, that's in a week. Inactive, inactive, call. Oh, it's today. Okay, so go to your day planner. I got to call back Bill Smith today. Inactive, I got to call back on that one. So you only have like 1 or 2 people to call typically. But you have to do it every single day. You have to do it every single day. Just 10 minutes. Set a reminder to go off. Okay? You guys get that? So it's hard once you get it going, but once it's up and running, it's real easy to maintain. So every morning, me and my assistant, we go over this line by line. What's going on with this deal? What's going on with this deal? Okay? We get anywhere from about 80 to 100 leads a month. Okay? So I have to track this. I don't care if you're only getting 3 or 4, you still track this. If you tell somebody you're going to follow up then and call back then, you call back with them. And the other thing is, every time I get a call on this, I update the realtor source. Hey Kirsten, just want to let you know, or my loan partner, hey Kirsten, just want to let you know we left another message with Jim Smith. That's a second call. I'll keep trying, and please let us know if you need anything else to do. What does Kirsten feel?
Do you do this or does your
Love.
assistant?
My loan partner does 99% of it. If she's out or she's gone, I step into the system and I do it. Here's what I want you to remember. As realtors, what do you want from your lender? I mean, like, well, let me back up. What does the client want?
Communication. I want to know what's going on.
But what do they really want, bottom line?
You wanna know you're doing your job.
They want a loan.
They want the loan,
Right?
they want the money.
So let's be clear. As a realtor client of yours, what does the client really want?
Buy the house.
They want the house. They want to buy or sell the house. All right? So here's what I have to do to me. I'm not as important as I think I am. Okay? I'm really not. They need the information. They need it consistently. They need to be communicated. They need to be felt loved. Okay? So when I hire somebody, they're actually better at it than I am because that's what their job is. Like right now, if a realtor called me an hour ago, I'm not responding to that lead. Elisa on my team's already calling back. Does that make sense? You have a question, Tammy?
Well, I was just gonna say, when's a good time to call to do like those follow-up calls? Is there like a good time of day?
I'm a big fan of a morning because I don't know what happens in our industry, but the afternoons just turn into cowboy time to me. I mean, there's battles and arrows flying. I mean, it's crazy. But anything important, I do in the morning.
Like 10, so it's not too early.
I time block though. We did that time. I'm telling you, you got to time block because we can find stuff to do and be really busy and not get anything done. Gotcha.
Yeah, you mentioned something. You go back to this every day and look at it.
For 10 minutes, yeah.
You know, well, if you've got 100 people, how many of these things you got to go through?
Well, it doesn't take more than a couple minutes because I read them like follow-up 315, follow-up 33, 37. All I look at is this one column. And I see who needs to be followed up with that day.
But then once you follow up with them, where do you put it? There's no room.
Well, there we go. So I call them. So what happens on the follow-up? What happens? Give me an example.
They said, call me in 3 months, I'm not ready yet.
Okay, so I'm going to put call back 45 days. I'll put the date though. 5/15. I'll put another hash mark.
It seems to me like you've got to come back, you end up with about 40 of these.
No, well here's the deal. They're monthly. So you're only going to have 12 unless you get more than 29 leads. I go back 2 or 3 months at a time. Now, if it's more than 2 or 3 months, I may bring it over new. I may do that. That's a great question. See what I'm saying? I'm only looking at the most recent 2 or 3 months. Or if it's 6 months or greater out, I'm going to have an electronic, I'll put long-term follow-up and it'll pop up electronically. I love these questions. This is what I want. Prove me why you don't think this will work for you. Yeah.
I heard another study that people return calls after 7 of your calls. So I usually, when I'm working on this system, I usually do 10 calls before I cross them off my list.
I love it. No, that's
Because
fine.
you stop at 6, and
That's
they
my-
could have answered the call at 7.
That's
So-
my personal, but here's the deal. Have a system. I know people, it's funny, I think they did change it to 8. I haven't heard 10 yet. When I say they, the core tracks all this.
They
That's
answer
what
at 7.
Huh?
So
Yeah. And a lot of it's just timing. Sometimes I'll have my assistant go back and call leads from 6 months ago. And you'll dig up a deal or two, even if they were inactive. Other questions?
Yeah, I have a question. What about this, seems like a lot of people have this divorce problem. And I have had other lenders say, oh, they have a divorce, forget it. And that's it.
What do you understand? Sorry, the
If
question.
you haven't, if they've had a divorce, just forget it. And that's the end. And I'm asking you, you're saying call back if they're having a divorce. I know some other people will say, if they're having a divorce, forget it.
I always call back. Always.
Something has to happen to the property.
Even if we can't do the deal now, it's a seed you're planting for the future. Yeah, no, I'll always call back. Because then you get the reputation, you're just cherry picking, you want the good ones. Right? No, I'll always call back. And this helps keep me focused to do that. So,
My question isn't not to call back. I'm going further. How many things do they need to get done to get that loan if they are divorced? I mean, let's just not do calling, we've gotta get the loan and close it.
No, set an appointment,
That's the
every
whole thing.
situation's different, but we can set an appointment and have them come in. And if we can't help them, we'll put them on a plan, you need to do these items over the next 3 or 6 months. Does that answer the question?
No, I'm
I think
asking
maybe
what do we
she's thinking
see?
from a lender's viewpoint, where they're saying, don't call back because they can't do anything for them possibly because of credit and what have you. But there still is a piece of property that has to be disposed of, so there might be a potential listing there.
Yeah.
Is that?
There might be a potential lead, but it's still not telling me what a lender would do if what
wasn't
do I
talking
have?
about
They
the loan,
expect, a
though.
lot of lenders expect you, I've been in the business a long time, lady, and then a lot of lenders want you to come up and tell them all of the, you don't think they do? They're not all a Chris.
Get a new lender.
I wasn't
I'm
saying
calling
that.
you.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Call Chris.
I'll call them.
If they're not like Chris, call Chris.
Call Chris. Question?
Yeah, after you make another call and you get a different result, where do you put that result?
Okay, hold on, guys. So you guys will probably have a piece of paper where you put more specific notes. Okay? Like has kids or going through a divorce. You can't fit it all in here.
Right.
The purpose of this is something short and sweet, and the key is your follow-up date. That's the key. So yeah, you can't put all your information in there. So let's say it pops up and you're supposed to call John James today, and you're all, what am I calling him for? And then you go to your file and you're like, or your computer screen, it says, oh, kid had major surgery. They need to downsize, so they went into 1-story from a 2-story now. Follow up now. So then you get on the phone and say, hey, I'm just checking, gosh, how's your boy doing? Listen, I know there's some 1-story houses that are coming up down here in your neighborhood. I want to see if it's time for you to take a look at those. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, but if you tell them, well, I'll touch bases with you in 2 weeks, well, where do you put that in?
Right here. You're going to put call back, 2 weeks. Put the date, whatever it is in 2 weeks. June 15th.
And then log
Right
into
small.
your data.
Right, small, yeah, because if you do that 3 or 4 times, then you've got a pretty messy
Go to a new
piece of
page.
paper.
No. You're going to, I'm sorry. You erase it each time.
Oh,
You
right,
do this,
pencil.
I'm sorry. You do this column in pencil.
Right small?
You're going to get hung over here, aren't you?
You forgot to tell us that?
My bad. So, yeah, so it says follow up Tuesday, 3:15. So on 3:15 I call and I leave a voicemail. I'm going to erase it, put callback 3:16, add a hash mark. Thank you. So when I get X amount of hash marks, that's when I'll decide whether to file it inactive or not. Some people I may call 15 times. Like let's say it's a certain kind of referral. Others, like a blanket open house person who doesn't know you from Adam, maybe it's 10 times and you're done. But here's what it is, you're finalizing it. And I think when you start slipping in one area, it slips into other areas of your life. So like if I get flaky on some leads and I don't really follow up and I just let them fall off my plate, and this is me, then I start showing up late to pick up my kids from school and I start doing this, I just get sloppy. So like, when I get really tight on my business, my personal life gets better. It's like a nice byproduct for me.
Discipline.
Yeah, it's discipline. So,
what
any
you're
other
saying-
questions? I saw those.
So what you're saying, you said how we track our, I have one, it's not this one, I'm on Boomtown, we have our Boomtown program, which is fantastic for lead track, because it comes up every day, I get reminders, I have 4 tasks to do, I put my calls in, and then I just, right there electronically, next call, and you put a date in and it pops up.
If you've got that system and it works, stick with it.
You put your
Very
notes in
few
there.
people are
Yeah,
able to
put
do
your
that.
notes in, I mean, and it just
You
tells
put
me.
my drip email campaign.
Yeah,
I mean, it's.
that's an awesome system. Those
You
people
guys,
are out
if
there.
that works for you and you got it dialed, that's fine. Here's the issue that I find. In general, I'm not saying it's you. You become a computer operator more than a salesman. Okay? Because the system goes down, and again, I'm not saying, you guys aren't doing that.
Kind of the revolution.
Just be aware of your, that's why I look at the greatness tracker. Be aware of your sales time. Okay? Like, I'm going to be honest, and don't freak out anybody. My perfect business model is, I don't check any emails. I have an assistant who does that. All right? That's my perfect business model. Because how do I get paid the most money?
Closing a loan.
Belly to belly.
Belly to belly. I'm sorry. If you like me, you're going to send me business probably. In general. Okay? If Lori really likes me, Lori, can you send me some money? Okay, Chris. Even if I'm the best lender in the world, if she really doesn't like me, she's probably not going to send me too much business. That makes sense? So in my world, and here's the beautiful part, we're all self-employed business owners. So we're going to do it all differently. I'm just giving you one system. I must admit, a lot of these electronic systems, they're much more efficient than this, okay? But I would suggest, if you're not really efficient yet, use this, and then you can migrate to something like that later, okay? But there's many systems. As long as your people are getting followed up with, stick with it. Okay, other questions? Does that make sense in general?
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to get to, there's like 10 things you're not even realizing that it's going to help you after you have like 6 months of these filled out. They're done each month. Now at the bottom, you see this G? That stands for goals. Here's where we're going to get real specific. It's that time of year for goal setting, right? So, in this model, you see how it says CCR and then there's a 6 above it? The goal is to get 6 current client referrals a month. Okay? If you look below, it says leads, 3, T1 is transactions. So far for this month, they got 3 current client referral leads and 1 of them turned into a transaction. Ask questions, Lori. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Look at the example one. Okay? Questions on that category. Now the next category is PCR, past client referrals. The goal is 6. I've gotten 1 lead and 0 transactions. Alright? Next is PC for past clients. The goal is 10. Personal friends is 3. Your realtors, you see it across the board. So the goal is, for this person, is 62 leads per month. Is this specific? This is pretty clear. Alright? I mean, this is helping you get some real clarity around your goals. And once you get that clarity, I can't tell you why. It just, stuff happens. And just stuff happens. You put it out there and you start thinking about it, it happens. So this person got 14 leads and 6 transactions. Or excuse me. Actually, that's a typo there. They got 3 transactions. They got 1 for current client referrals, 2 past clients, so that should be a 3 there. Does that make sense?
The bottom.
So if you take 3 leads, or transactions divided by 14 leads, this person has a 21% batting average, or a 21% close ratio. Okay? So, as a business owner, when I say, Jerry, what's your business look like? And you say, hey, well, my goal is 30 leads a month. I have a 25% close ratio. It gets me 4 closings a month. I mean, that's specific, right? That's on it. So the key is for you is to come up with what yours is. Maybe it's 10 leads a month. Now, I will tell you, you've got to look at the lead types. Boomtown leads, I guarantee you're going to have a lower closing percentage than your financial planner or your database.
Yeah, but the thing with Boomtown, you can put your own leads in there too. You can build up from how.
No, but what I'm saying is, if you're trying to put together your business plan and one of your categories is Boomtown,
Right.
I'd probably figure I don't know, what closing percentage of Boomtown leads you think you close?
Probably like 5% or less.
5% or less. Whereas a financial planner may be 30%. Okay, no right or wrong, I'm just saying you want to know your facts. So I need 50 Boomtown leads a month, I need 5 business leads a month, and I want 5 leads from my database. Or 3 leads from open houses. Does that make sense? You'll put those together and you'll start tracking it, just like when you jump on the scale and you want to lose weight, you're going to start seeing where it's at. So at the end of the month you get done, you say, wow, my goal is 20 leads, I only got 14 this month. Okay? What do I need to do if I don't have enough leads?
Talk to more people.
Not a trick question.
Greatness tracker.
Greatness tracker, she beat me to it. You got to start selling more so you go to the greatness tracker. So, in a perfect world, you'll have your greatness tracker next to your lead tracker. These are your volume, your knobs for control, right? If you've got too many leads, slow down the greatness tracker. I don't need so many face-to-face appointments right now. I got to follow up with the leads I got. Or refer some of those leads out, crank it up and get even more leads, and then start cherry picking. See how that system kind of comes together there?
So your daily focus is both the greatness tracker and the lead tracker.
If you guys did that, I guarantee your business will skyrocket. Fill your greatness tracker, fill it with appointments, thank you cards, phone calls, follow up with your leads. That's the secret. I just gave you the secret pill, the magic success. Now, Mike, Ferry, Joe Stump, they all have similar stuff. We're all saying the same thing, let's be clear. This is just a systematic format for you. Okay? Questions on the lead tracker? Is it exciting and fun and riveting?
Absolutely.
I love it. And do you
No,
have?
I've been doing it for 13 years. It's boring. I hate it. It makes me a lot of money. It frees up my time, so I do it.
Do you have this in an electronic form?
Yes. Anybody wants this in electronic format, we can shoot it out to you. Ooh, question?
No, I want it.
Oh, okay. Should I send it to Mark? And Mark, you send it out? Is that the best bet?
Yeah, good idea.
And if you guys have questions on this, and you want to set up a one-on-one or something, come see me. I love this stuff. It changes my life. I know that sounds dramatic, but it does. It changes my life.
I have a quote for you.
Uh-oh.
Thornton sent this out today. Did you see that? If you're going to achieve excellence in big things, you develop the habit in little matters. Excellence is not an exception, it's a prevailing attitude.
Say it again.
That's good.
You guys got that?
But if you're going to achieve excellence in big things, you develop the habit in little matters. Excellence is not exception, it's a prevailing attitude. And then he puts, life's full of challenges and distractions. One of the keys to maintaining excellence is to pass the tests that come to everyone. When things go wrong and you're discouraged, if you maintain an excellent attitude, you may slow down for a short period of time, but you will battle through the issues to success. It is the challenges that make us stronger and wiser as long as we learn and don't quit. Do your absolute best, even the smallest of things, and you will automatically do your best with the larger ones. Make a decision today to be excellent, pay the price, and reap the rewards.
Yep. I love that.
Good one today? That was a great one.
This is the smaller things. This is it. But it works and it adds up to the big things. All right, any questions on the lead tracker? Can we do something real fun real quick? I'll let you guys get out of here. Go back to this page. It says top 50 life goals. Into that time of the year, right? I went through this and it got me to think bigger, so I just want to kind of pique your curiosity a little bit.
Number 3, that's a good one.
Here's 50 of them. I want you to circle. Who said that first? That was you, wasn't it? Circle 3 goals. I want you to go through here. Is it watch the sunset and rise, pass on a nugget of knowledge, go naked? That's kind of an open-ended one. Scuba diving, quit your job, test drive a Ferrari, have a food fight. We were in Tahoe, and I checked this off my bucket list. I had a snowball fight with my son in a blizzard in a hot tub. It was crazy. It was crazy. I froze too. Take a hot air balloon ride, serenade someone. I will not do that.
Thank you.
But I mean, look at these are just about having fun. Learn something new. Surprise someone. Take a walk in the rain. Phone in work sick and relax. I'm trying so hard to do that. I haven't been able to do it. I'm sure I will though. I would like to work. So circle 5 of those. And this is just the time of the year.
We could do number 44 on Tuesday.
I know, that's I like 44 too.
Party Tuesday. What is it? 6 o'clock at the office.
Tuesday, 6 o'clock at the Gold River office.
Right, Gold River office. Bring a dish and $5 to $10
Why don't?
white elephant, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and if everybody could, we sent it out, Evite, respond, so that wherever he went, Steve's doing ribs, so we kind of want to head count so he knows what to do,
Okay.
and then we're all supposed to bring.
Did everybody get the email, the invite?
Yep.
And
You
you
shoot
can
it to me, Mark.
invite people too.
Oh, yeah.
Just tell them to bring a dish and gift if they want to do an exchange, so.
Quit your job.
Yeah, affiliates.
Sounds like fun.
Whatever.
And Lori saw it when quit your job. I don't know. Sounds fun. The back page is marketing goals and ideas. Okay, so it's just more goals. Here's some samples to get the juices flowing. Okay? I send birthday cards to my top 100 clients. That right there will get you some business, I guarantee you. I have a weekly spiritual practice like church, small group, or meditating. Here's a big one for me. I spend at least